Stoke-on-Trent, one time the heart of industrial England, a powerhouse of coal, iron and steel, but above all, pottery making. In the 50s, 70,000 people were employed in Stoke's potteries. Now there are less than 10,000. Companies like Emma Bridgewater are still keeping the craft alive, but it's one of the very last examples of a traditional skill once famous throughout the world.
This is a city that still takes such pride in its heritage of craftsmanship and manufacturing. But somewhere along the way, the people of Stoke-on-Trent Central have lost their faith in politicians. At the last election, turnout here was lower than in any other constituency. Why?
I think people have given up. They've given up. They don't know. They're not really believing anything that people are saying anymore. They're promising all sorts, and it's not coming through most of the time.
I'm not voting anymore. I think all this Brexit thing that's going on, I'm just not. They don't listen, and then they're trying to change your mind. So I'm not voting anymore.
In spite of the apathy, the constituency is now the focus of a crucial by-election, largely seen as a two-way battle between UKIP and Labour for the English working class vote. Obviously, the other main parties aren't ready to concede just yet, and I caught up with the locally born Conservative candidate when he was out canvassing.
I've lived in the city my entire life, and also obviously Brexit is a real issue on the doorstep, and only the Prime Minister has got that clear plan to deliver Brexit, so it is important that we respect that result that was voted on overwhelmingly by local people.
And the Lib Dems aren't giving up either.
People have no say at the moment. At this time, Liam Fox, David Davis and Boris Johnson trying to stitch up a deal which people do not necessarily like. They were not given at the time when the referendum happened. So what Liberal Democrats and me are standing is to have another say for the people and people to decide rather than a few Member of Parliaments or Cabinet Ministers deciding it.
Their optimism stems from the controversy surrounding the two candidates widely regarded as having the best chance of winning. Both Labour and UKIP have some very embarrassing skeletons in their closet.
On Twitter, you've referred to Brexit as a massive pile of something that I can't possibly say on television. How's that gone down in Stoke?
The things I said on Twitter, I've apologised for. I'm not proud of the language that I've used, but when I made that particular tweet, it was in frustration at the fact that 4 months after the referendum vote, the Prime Minister hadn't come forward with any plans. All we were getting were vague sort of comments about hard Brexit, soft Brexit, red, white and blue Brexit, and that was my way of saying how frustrated I was. In hindsight, probably better ways to have done it.
Now, we also had an interview set up with the UKIP candidate, Paul Nuttall, but he pulled out, so we're going to try and find him.
The reason for his disappearing act? False comments that appeared on his website about losing close friends at Hillsborough. He now says he deeply regrets this, but still left others to deal with the fallout.
What do you make of the situation regarding the Hillsborough comments that Mr Nuttall has made and since retracted?
I've just been out all morning knocking on doors in Stoke. It's going incredibly well. I think Paul's going to do it. I think we stand a real chance of having a second MP. This town has been a Labour fiefdom since 1950. Paul Nuttall is the chance to give Stoke real change. Thank you.
And what about the Hillsborough comments?
Sorry.
Oh, we're just trying to find Paul Nuttall. I don't suppose you know where he is.
Yeah, this is interesting.
I haven't seen him.
You haven't seen him? Yeah, we're trying to track him down.
Oh, God.
So it looks like it's Paul Nuttall's office here. Let's go and try and find if he's inside. Hello, how are you doing? My name's... Well, I hope so. I'm Sophie, I work for Sky News. I don't suppose you know where Paul Nuttall is?
I think if you come in and ask our coordinator, you might get a
An
better
answer.
reply, because I don't know.
Hello. Thank you. Hi. We're just trying to find out where Paul Nuttall is. I don't suppose you know. Well, sure. Thank you.
One of Mr Nuttall's team was summoned for an explanation. He was somewhat camera shy.
Hello, how are you? You all right? How's it going? We're on the hunt for Mr Nuttall. I know you've been speaking to Tom. I don't suppose you've got any update for us. Yeah, it's fine.
The UKIP candidate was now busy writing a speech for his party's spring conference, we were told, but our request for an interview was still being considered.
Usually in a by-election, the candidates try their very best to try and win the thing. But this time, after a string of controversies, it's almost as if the frontrunners are trying their best to throw it away. And the people of Stoke-on-Trent would be forgiven for thinking that they deserve a bit better than that.
Given the potential significance of this by-election, it seems a shame that so little is being offered by so much of the political establishment to the very few who will even bother to vote.